I don't know, man. He fought him like he was just some dude off the street, like they weren't even teammates. Like they weren't even, you know what I'm saying, like on the same team. And I think when you get to that point, just even the way he snuffed him, like, right? It's like, I don't know, man. That shit was kind of corny. Like it was.
Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, 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 what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl Podcast. Shout out to Hustle 5 Ways for hosting. I'm your host, Nas.
So you got Tall Man live from Dubai.
And as always, In the Bowl Podcast is sponsored by your nation's own #1 mobile hookah provider. They don't even do private events, but they do wholesale distribution and take that experience to the next level. What's happening, dog? What's going on?
What is going on, man? Another week in the books. It looks like the DMV is a bit nippy. I'm surprised you got your elbows out tonight, man. I hope you've moisturized.
Not gonna lie, man. You use shea butter, man. You know, keeps your skin glistening, keeps you warm, like another coat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you was a kid, and your folks used to lather you down with like Vaseline and shit, and used to roll around in sheets in your shirt, or if you had to go to school and you got lathered down in Vaseline, that one crease in your shirt got stuck on that part of your arm, you'd be like, damn. So yeah, you know, but no, it's this is my favorite season. I know it's hoodie season. I got a hoodie on, but it's I don't know. I think fall, man. Now I think about seasons. I love the summer because I'm a water baby, but I will sit there and say that fall is maybe my favorite because it's cool. You can wear a hoodie. You can kind of layer up, and then if you need to, you can take a couple layers off and still be comfortable. You get nice like that. And I feel like the air is a little bit more crisp. Like it just feels good.
Man, crisp ain't the word. You know, I mean, fall in the DMV will have you experiencing 2 to 3 seasons in one day, man. You leave the house, it's like 45 degrees. You go out at lunch, you know, it's a good maybe 70, 75 degrees. You driving home from work, it's now dark, and it's 55 degrees, man. You got your seat warmers on. You get a little bit of everything. So you got to roll with a damn suitcase, you know, when you're leaving out in the morning, and, you know, make sure you're good for the day.
No, that's facts. No, that's definitely facts, man. Definitely. Now, this is my season right here, man. Matter of fact, man, we just you know, it's our second annual pumpkin patch. They got this little field out in PA, man. I'm not gonna lie. They got these apple cider donuts.
Okay. Oh yeah. Remember you were talking about those.
I got my fix, you know. got my fix. Some things is they serve them warm. Things are amazing. So it made it all worth it.
Oh, I'm glad you all enjoyed it, man. You know, I saw the pictures. It looked like a good time out there.
Yeah, no, it was cool, man. It was a good time, man. I enjoy it. There's a lot of folks out there, you know, but people out there just enjoying it, right? And it's, you know, I got my apple cider, about to mix it up with some bourbon, you know, put my cinnamon sticks, my orange peels, and, you know, make me a little concoction, you know, and get ready for these nice cool seasons. But yeah, it's a great season, man. It's a great time, and it's the start of the holidays. And as we've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, you know, we coming up to our 1 year down. You know,
this is true.
You know, so it's a great time, man. It's the kickoff of holiday season. We got you know, Halloween coming up. We got, you know, obviously Thanksgiving, so we will have some critiques on macaronis and, you know, whether or not you got to have the section off plate or you just get that one plate that doesn't have any sections on it that are kind of all blend together, you know.
Mesh, yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, some people are real pressed, right? They don't like certain flavors mixing. But like I say, depending on who's cooking, sometimes those flavors just kind of boost it. They just make it better. They enhance the
Exactly.
other portion of the
Yeah.
meal. So
The melting pot.
the melting pot. That's a great definition for it. But nah, man, it's a good time. What's up with you though?
Oh man, all is well on this side. Remember I told you last week we were going glamping. So we drove about an hour outside Dubai up to Ras Al Khaimah. Do some glamping, and I'll tell you, man, it was pretty cool. I did try to at the last minute, switch out to get the bigger tent, but the place was sold out because the tent was cool. It had a little fan in there, had electricity. That community bathroom was still not hitting, man. That was a whole different experience in that. But I will say one thing though, man. I'm a bit of a tall guy, hence the name Tall Man. And the mattress we had in our tent, and I grew up, I used to have, twin beds. Me and my little brother had bunk beds, right? And it was an experience because as you grow taller, it's like, all right, now your feet hanging off the bed. So I lay down on this mattress, and when I tell you that everything from my knee to my ankles was hanging off that mattress, I was like, yeah, this is going to be an interesting, sleeping arrangement. But the tent was cool. The location was cool. It was right by the beach. So you had the water right there, had the pools. Had half board, so we had the breakfast and had the dinner. And lots of activities. And I'm not even gonna lie, man. I got talked into playing beach volleyball
Mm,
after probably 3 to 4 hours of having beverages. So that
mm.
was that competitive fire kicked in, man. So I'm out here, diving for balls in the sand. Pause. But but when you start playing, that testosterone, kicks in. And it's like, folks don't want to lose. But it was definitely a good time out there. That Friday was hot.
Mm.
I think it was like 105 degrees, the first day we got there. So, inside that tent, it felt like easily, a good 110 degrees till we figured out the little side vents and how to open that up. But it was definitely a good experience, man. Something I would do again because, I know I always say, we have a, very good friend of ours, Renee, who is an avid camper. And, she did hit me up like, hey, that's something that, I want to try. And I told her that's the only way, I will be in that type of environment. If I have USB ports, if I have fans and, can't just do the average, go out into the woods and, set up shop. Gotta have some amenities around.
Yeah, glamping is cool. Like my folks, man, they just bought a camper and they love camping. That's kind of their new thing, right? And it's interesting because like I said, if you have the right amenities, man, it's especially if it's like a nice, cool night, man. Sometimes it's nice to get that fresh air, and I think it's probably
Yeah.
a little different, what I'm saying, out there in the box, right, in the sandbox, right? It's probably like, you know, I don't know if you really got to worry about like bears and wolves and shit. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
you just got ants and spiders and, all the things that come along with the desert environment.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. But yeah, that shit sounds dope, man. So I'm definitely glad. The pictures look dope, man. Looked like it was a good time. I see you obviously had the hookahs out there, so they were flowing drinks. So that's
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Me and the shisha guy, man. I established connections early on. So the shisha guy was hooking my lemon man up. He was going to the bar, getting the crushed lemons, putting in the base, and putting
mm,
the lemons in there as well, and kept the coals flowing. So I definitely gave him a few good tips to solidify that relationship, and keep it going. And I got talked about it at one point because we were downstairs, by the beach, smoking shisha and talking, and they had a dart game upstairs.
Ooh.
You know, so one of the event coordinators was like, "All right, guys, we got a dark game at 9:30." And I called over to the shisha guy. I was like, "Hey, look, you know, can you carry this upstairs for me? You know, either you can carry it, I can carry it. It doesn't matter to me, but, we're going to play darts for, 30, 45 minutes. I'm not about to let this good bowl go to waste." So they recorded a video of my hookah being escorted upstairs, to the dart room. But it was definitely, a good time out there, man. I enjoyed it.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. That's definitely what's up. But before you kick it off with some topics, man, we gotta do our toast.
Indeed, indeed.
So definitely cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Definitely gotta do that. Definitely gotta do that. So what's up, man? What else is on your mind?
Nah, so last week was actually a pretty interesting week out here because the NFL, they've been doing the shows and I'm not the shows. They've been doing games in London, which I love, by the way, because that way when I wake up Sunday morning, at least I got a game on earlier in the day versus having to wait until 9 p.m. to see some action. But the NBA had two games out here, and they had the Bucks and the Hawks. They played two exhibition games out in Abu Dhabi. I think the NBA is trying to do a partnership similar to the NFL and have games here, which is it's pretty cool. The tickets were a little pricey, for a preseason exhibition game, but you also have to read the room and look to see where you're at. But
Yeah.
they had Shaq out here, so I guess he's the NBA ambassador, to the UAE. You had Steve Harvey and a few other folks come out, so that was good. So that means, at least in the future, may be able to, take a 45-minute ride and still catch a couple of NBA games.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. And just even talking about sports, right? Yeah, I saw preseason obviously that kicked off to the NBA, but we cannot not talk about it, right? We cannot talk
Yeah.
about the boys. It's a big week.
The boys. I thought we were going to talk about the Draymond Greene Jordan Poole fight.
Oh, we will get there. So but I'll get to my part, right? But I'll get to that. But I will sit there and say, it's a big week in NFL with you got a 5-0 team and a 4-1 team in the same division. We already know what the outcome will be, so more to come on that. But it's an exciting week for all the other folks that counted us out. I remember the beginning of this conversation, the beginning of the season, we were talking about, certain teams hitting 500. That's looking a little bit more doubtful. But I will sit there and say we're looking awfully good right now. But I'm going to leave that there. We can table that. And I would love to, next week I will definitely come back and, grace you with some exciting news for that one. Don't worry about that. But yeah, that back to the NBA though, man. That Draymond Greene and Poole thing. I'll be honest, man. I think that was some fucked up shit, man. That shit was corny. Like that was.
Yeah.
That was like I fuck with Draymond. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I fuck with him like this as an NBA player. Like you know what I'm saying. Like to me, I feel like he still has that grit. He kind of reminds me of like, the old school. I'm not even. He just reminds me of like he likes to get down there and bump down there, right? And he likes contact, right? And so I fuck with him as a player, but I will sit there and say as a teammate, I don't think there's any way you can really go back from that, right? It's like, at the end of this year, he's up for a contract. What I'm saying? And I think Wiggins and Poole's up for a contract, right? And so, I don't know. With that right there, I just think it's like, I don't know, man. He fought him like he was just some dude off the street, like they weren't even teammates. Like they weren't even, like on the same team. And I think when you get to that point, just even when he snuffed him, like, right? It's like, I don't know, man. That shit was kind of corny. Like it was wild as shit. I will say that. Like he leaned into him. Like
Yeah. He definitely put his weight behind that punch, man.
Shit, it was multiple too, man. Like he leaned into that, man. Like make. You know what I'm saying? Like damn. You know what I'm saying? That shit
Yeah.
cool. Like how do you get back from that?
Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know, all their history. I've heard bits and pieces about, kind of, the back and forth. But at the end of the day, I mean, that man is, your teammate, and you're at work, and to, go off and react like that is totally uncalled for.
I think yeah, and then you think about it, right? You think about on both sides, right? You just embarrass families, right? You just embarrass each other. You know what I'm saying? Like this man right here, you know what I'm saying? He just the way you put him on that platform like that, man, that shit just wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like how does Poole even respond to something like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough one, man.
People got
That's
can't let that emotion, man. That emotion, you know what I'm saying? People realize, forget that. Words have power. And, you know what I'm saying? When you get to a certain point, like, some shit you just can't move past, right? And
yeah,
and especially if you want to stay on that squad, how do you now fit in? And I'm talking about from a Draymond standpoint. Like, he's supposed to be a leader on the team. He's a,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? And that's what you show in these young kids, like, that's what they doing. Like that shit ain't cool. You have no control of your emotions. For you to be a leader, that shit was corny. That shit wasn't cool. I don't like the way he handled
Yeah, and it's kind of messed up, on a couple different fronts because I was having a conversation, with somebody about sports on Monday. Had some folks, in town for the week, and went out and grabbed dinner. And we were talking about, kind of, how Golden State has kind of been, the model of, putting together a team, how they put all the, the pieces in place, to be able to dominate, as they have. It's not like, how they went out with the big three. And you just combined, a whole bunch of superstars, and brought them together, and tried to get things to gel to win a championship. Where they went out and actually, drafted and traded, and really built, a solid, team there where everybody had a part, everybody played their part, and each year, they were kind of favored to be, somewhere around the NBA Finals. So seeing how this plays out going forward, and the effect it has on them is definitely going to be something to watch this season.
Right, facts. Yeah, I'm interested to see that now, right? But it's sad that now we're interested because of the drama. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit ain't cool. That shit
Yeah,
ain't cool.
man.
So it's fucked up when you get to points like that. But like you said, sometimes you just have people on a team that I hate using this term because it's so real. But like, there's just some people that are just cancerous, right? Some people that just, spew out like just that negative vibe and that energy and shit like that, right? And
Yeah,
you know, the shit that just can hit a team and it just change the whole aura. You know what I'm saying? That whole connection. Because now it's not even just those two. Now it's like you probably got people on the team taking different sides. You know what I'm saying? Some people may not want to say nothing. People may not want to get involved. You know what I'm saying? But and what you did, it's crazy. And it makes me think. I was talking to my folks about that too, right? It just shows you how what you think is private ain't private, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
they were talking about how you know, other situations. I know definitely one of the highest Google things right now also is, talking about the whole Kerr and Jordan situation. They talked about it, but you didn't ever really see a video
nah,
of it, right? And it was behind doors. I mean, it was still fucked up, but again, you know, like everything's out there. You know, once it's out there, and you're never not have a camera on you. Shit, people recording practices now on their iPhone.
Yeah, man. Once they put a quality camera in everybody's pockets, man, nothing is private anymore. You know, everything is out there, and you got to assume that any action you take is definitely going to be recorded, disseminated, leaked. You know, it's going to live on out there. So, I mean, you definitely have to watch the way you move, and that's why I said I mean, fighting at work in the workplace. You know, I mean, you're professionals being paid all that money. I mean, just wasn't a smart move.
Wasn't at all. But that's where we're at now in life, man. Right now, everything needs to be on camera. Everything is on camera. You know, everyone's sitting there trying to feel like they get that views and followers up by doing some wild shit. But it's up, and that's what it is.
Yeah, man. And talk about people making headlines. You know, once again, your man Kanye is back out there. I think he's been suspended, social media platforms because the man had a bit of a tirade. I know last show we were talking about his shirts they debuted at I guess it was Fashion Week out in Paris, but now the man has made some comments and has angered a certain segment in society. I don't know, man. It's like every week is something new with Kanye. I think that he really needs to pull a Dave Chappelle and just step away and just let things die down some, because first it was the issues with family that we're not gonna go into, and then it was the issues with his ex-wife or a strange wife or separated wife dating, and then it was who he's dating, and now the man's kirking out on Adidas execs and certain ethnicities. It's just one thing after another with Kanye.
Yeah, man. I think it's a cry. That's the thing, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't even know what stance to really take, or if I am going to take a stance on it. You know what I'm saying? That man is obviously doing something or going through something.
Yeah.
And I just feel that like it's to the point now to where I don't even know where to take it, right? I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people sit there and say, maybe his creative mind is flowing, but I know they put a statement out on what the shop, right? How they just recorded him the other day, and they were just doing like a pre-interview, just making sure his mental was straight.
Yeah.
And they decided not to, even because when he got on there and started talking, they decided to actually pull the show and not show it. And it's like, I don't know, when you get to certain platforms, even like we talk about Draymond, when you get to certain platforms, a million motherfuckers is watching
you. Yeah.
And you gotta be mindful of that message that you're putting out. You gotta be mindful of that. And yeah, you can be as real and honest and whatever you want to be, but what I'm saying, when it comes to the detriment of other folks, and you really putting out like hate shit and making these issues, knowing that we already have enough. When is enough enough? And when you start becoming the solution and not the problem?
This is true.
And that's my thing, man. I don't know. Right now, it's like, it's not even trying to defend the man, but it's like, at one point you sit there and you're like, all right, man, we want to make sure my man is cool, this, that, and third, whoop-de-whoop. But nah, it's like, come on, dude. Now you wilding. Like, some shit, like, I get it. You got a kid that is, I don't even know. You don't really consider biracial. I don't know what I don't know. But at the same time, you sit there and you're like, come on. You gotta chill the fuck out a little bit, buddy. You gotta fucking relax.
Yeah, man, it's been an interesting week, man. So tell me, I know we haven't, talked too much, about our shows, because, I mean, summertime is definitely busy. Folks moving, folks are traveling. But have you been watching, the Raising Canaan show?
Man, I think I probably missed like 2 episodes. I think I'm like 2 episodes behind. Right. And again, like I say, fall season is one of those seasons, the beginning, right? It's, you know, in that new era where you pictures, you gotta be here. Everyone having birthdays, people having gatherings, But no, I'm like a couple weeks behind that, so I'm looking forward to a chill weekend, chill week, just to fall back, chill, hang out with the family, and just catch up on stuff.
Yeah,
But
you have definitely missed a lot.
a lot goes on. That is my show, and it's crazy. I don't even know. Remember that? What's the other one? You got Raising Canaan, you got The Ghost, you got
Oh, BMF.
yeah, you got BMF, you got that right. But I guess my question is, I'm trying to figure out what happened with the one with the his name the one like little series they had where they only had one season, like that thing just stopped mid-season and just stopped showing. Like it got canceled. One of the power joints. It's not the one with Tariq. It's not the one with Ghost. It's not with Kanan, but it's the other one.
Oh, you talking about Tommy?
Tommy, yeah, Tommy one. He had his own. But that thing, I feel like that just stopped mid-season. I don't even feel like they.
Nah. That was a full season.
That was a full. Yeah, I don't know if I like the way that ended. Like the rest of it, I thought the shit just stopped.
Nah. They had their 10 shows in because that one was definitely a slow build.
Yeah,
Because it started off with a little action, but I mean, since Tommy had stepped out on his own, they had to do some character development. So you kind of had to get everybody's backstory and see how things meshed.
yeah.
And I know a lot of people were like, yeah, this isn't really my favorite show of the Power universe, but it definitely was a full season and it played out. It picked up towards the end and started connecting some dots. So it'll be interesting to see in season two where they come back with, because if 50 is involved, it's definitely going to be multiple seasons, and the man's vision, because I mean, you put him in I'm about to say that power position, no play on words, but you put him in that position, he definitely has a vision, and so far everything that he has touched has been, I mean, relatively decent. I think For Life, which was on ABC. I think they're done. I think they had their 2 seasons.
For
You
Life,
know
that
that.
was my shit, man. I like that joint. That was my shit on the low. Like For Life was a solid show, but like you said, I was trying to figure out where else would you take that, considering once you got
Yeah,
out and then you went through your probationary period and then you got your man's out. Like what else? And I know you had his brother in there. What do you do? Or his man's in
yeah,
there. What do you do after that?
yeah. I mean, that was a tough one. I think that one really ran its course. I mean, because you squeezed two seasons
Yeah.
out of that storyline, and I think if you try to push for season three, then now you're really reaching.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. But speaking of shows, man, I caught a couple episodes of that Dahmer joint.
Oh man, all right. So what are your thoughts?
Caught a couple episodes of it. That shit is wild. And I see
Yeah.
where people having to relive it, but that shit right there was like they say, man. I think childhood drama or trauma is real. I
Yeah.
think I think what you're exposed to as a child, I mean, it kind of just keeps on just. That's a true definition of that. Like it's like he started just dissecting like little animals as he was a child and stuff like that, right? And I
With his
guess
father.
with his father, and I guess I thought that was a way to connect, but not even thinking about how that situation would play at him as an adult. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker was just weird, period.
Yeah.
And honestly, I will sit there and say, go back to my statement last week. Whether it's a touchy subject or not, I really feel like whether they put LGBTQ on it as a description on it or as a reason as to why they rate to what they rated, I think they should. I think honestly, it's a proper tag, whether you put that or homosexuality on it, whatever it is, because the first episode, that shit's intense.
Yeah, yeah, right
You
out
know
the
what
gate.
I'm saying? So I guess I just don't. I don't really see where that issue is of why you would not tag it like that, right? But and I will sit there and say those are regular fucking aviator glasses, right? So I'm confused as to why I got the apparel, but you know what I'm saying? So you might as well get them shits off of just get them shits out of a mall kiosk. Fucking
Nah, and you know what? It's funny you talking about the aviators. I mean, so as you mentioned, I mean, we are in October and Halloween is coming up. So what do you think about the little kids who are dressing up as Dahmer for Halloween? Do you think that's going, too far?
yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I think that's a stretch. I mean, I know some people dress their kids up as Pablo and give him the briefcase with the thick mustache and the wig and shit, but I think that's a little bit too far. I mean, I don't know about that Halloween costume, but I guess I don't know. It could be the equivalent as it, right? Or the equivalent as Myers for
Michael Myers or Freddy
yeah,
Krueger going back
any
in
of
the day. Yeah.
like you dress your kid up as that. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe you should check yourself, but I guess it's cool. You dress your kid up as Chucky. I don't know what you want to do, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a bit much.
I think the only issue, and where the potential issue comes into play is Michael Myers and all those people, they were fictional characters
Mm,
versus Dahmer, who was a convicted serial killer. Real life, wasn't based off someone's imagination or
yeah.
storyline. This was a real individual, who was murdering people and doing whatever it is that he was doing. I think that's the argument of where do you draw that line and dressing up for Halloween as characters.
No, that's real. I think there should be a line, Carl. I mean, I think there should be a line. The crazy thing, I remember for me growing up, I'm not gonna lie, like Halloween, it's interesting because even growing up, for me, I used to get hoodwinked for that shit. Like my folks used to be like, "All right, hey, we about to go to a Hallelujah party, right?" so, so, and they used to hit me with this shit every Halloween. He's like, "Are you about to go to a Hallelujah party?" And you got to dress up as biblical characters, right? And then she'd be like, and then my mom would be like, "All right, well, when we get home, you can go out trick or treating." Yeah, I think they purposely drove home slow as shit. Cause we got home around like 10 o'clock. We get back to the neighborhood, every single street lights off. I'm like, so I guess we missed it this year, and that shit happened every year.
Oh man. Yeah, that was definitely
Yeah,
purposely done because you know about them porch lights. Hey, if the porch lights not on,
we don't
we
go
ain't got
there.
nothing for you.
We ain't got nothing for you, right? You know what I'm saying? So I used to be like, damn. But they used to hit me with it every time. So, I mean, Halloween plays a special one. But now, I got a little one. I want her to, enjoy and figure out what her favorite holiday is going to be. But, we got our costume, ready. So we are cool with it. So it should be a fun time.
That's what's up, man. I know, we got some events and activities out here, the trunk or treats and, a couple different things, because trunk or treat is something, I found out about maybe 10 years ago. So I was like, wait a minute. So everybody's going to this one parking lot and just going from car to car. But, I've seen people do some elaborate setups,
Mm.
with their trunk or treats of just going all out, So I definitely, hats off to the creativity there. I think my tradition of Halloween, and it's not even a Halloween movie, but I definitely have to watch the first Candyman because the first Candyman is my movie, man. That is the only movie as a kid that had me, sitting, downstairs in the basement, waiting until someone else came home, to go to the bathroom. So I was like, yeah, I'm not really messing with that one. I know, sitting there just bouncing around like, all right, look, they said they were about 20 minutes away. That was like 30 minutes ago. What's going on here? But Candyman is my movie. We did watch the new Candyman. And that was cool, the remake. But it's nothing, like the original Candyman. When he went to New Orleans and all that stuff. Yeah, it was cool. All right, yeah, we get to kind of see how it plays out. But the original Candyman from Cabrini Green in Chicago, that is my guy right there, man. I can watch that movie once a year around Halloween.
That's funny. Now, that's what's up. But on another note, though, even like Halloween, man, it's just fucked up now. They care for you guys, because what they got. They have that new thing going out where people making different colors of fentanyl. Making them trying to match like Skittles and shit.
Yeah.
Fucked up people out here, man.
Yeah, that's something.
Careful. Like, you can't just enjoy life. Like, you can't just fucking chill. Like, motherfuckers out here just trying to just be terrors for no reason. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? You don't like your shit, man. Why you gotta fuck up other people's shit?
Yeah, and that fentanyl is not no joke, man. It is definitely, infusing its way into everything. So, man, you gotta be safe out there because they're definitely getting creative with, how they're, putting it out there to the market, man. So,
Yeah,
stay on your toes.
it's fucked up, man. But like, Halloween's gonna be a good time this year, so we're looking forward to that. Life is good. Everything is. We're excited. We got a little family costume that we're gonna do. We're gonna bust that out.
Oh.
That should be a good time. Excited about it.
Oh man, well, you know what else October brings, man? October brings homecoming season. As I know Morgan just had their homecoming last weekend. I saw the pictures and the videos. It looked like a good time. Was sad. I couldn't be there to indulge in the experience. I think Howard has theirs coming up on 22nd.
Yeah.
I think somewhere around there. Virginia State just had theirs last weekend as well. So homecoming season is upon us.
No, it is. It's full in effect. You know what the crazy thing is? I was thinking about. You even mentioned how Howard's, and I think it's kind of fucked up the way they do it. I think it's kind of fucked up how, they made so the 21st, 22nd is Howard's, Hampton's, and Morehouse and Spelman, right? And it's like, I think it's just kind of fucked up how they make it all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids out there, you know what I'm saying, especially if they got wheels while they're on campus, they want to go to different people's homecomings. You know what I'm saying? Your friends go to different schools, you want to visit different ones. Like, I don't even know why they would put, you know what I'm saying, some of them on the same weekend. I just think it's fucked up.
Yeah, man, you got October, you got 4 weeks, 4 Saturdays, give or take. I mean, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
So some years you get lucky, some years you don't. But I mean, you're working with that small window of time to try to cramp everything in. And I know we didn't talk about Jackson State and Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And I know you saw, after the game, prime time came out to, the middle of the field, for the coach's handshake, and he tried to give my man an embrace. My man pushed him off, kind of turned into a whole situation. I'll be honest, I did not, really follow up on the story to hear, exactly what happened. I heard various rumors of someone saying that, they were trying to run the score up on him and things like that. But I think the game ended like 27-13. So I really don't see running the score up.
Yeah, so they was talking
that,
about,
that doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah, so they was talking about, it's not even about the score, but what the dude said was in a press conference, he was like, all week, prime time, he was just talking shit, right? I don't give a fuck who you are. There are just certain people out here who talk shit, right? And so if you expect prime time to not talk shit, him as a coach, representing his team, leading his team, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know, man. I think there just be some real sucker ass shit that be going on. Like, what do you expect primetime not to talk about it? And then you get in your feelings because now you actually what happened was what happened was he was talking shit throughout the week, saying we're gonna do A, B, and C. Basically discrediting that entire program. But why would you not? You're my opponent, right? Especially if
Yeah,
I'm prime time.
exactly.
Like, come on, like you act like that's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you expect him to be different, right? He's gonna talk
He
shit.
is
He's
who he
gonna
is.
represent the team
Yeah,
because if he was a coach of any other team, he would do the same exact thing. And then so what happened was at the end of the week of talking shit, he delivered on what he said he was gonna do. And so now that's like someone saying, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do this, that, third, you know what I'm saying, you about to play ball one-on-one or whatever, and they actually beat you. Yes, that's gonna make you even madder because he actually delivered on his shit. You can't be mad at that. And the fact that you got
nah,
mad even after the game, because you leave it all out, because the whole quote, you leave it out on the field. And his folks left it out on the fucking field. They won the game, and now he's mad. Man up. Get the fuck out your feelings. You lost. Fucking get your team ready for the next week. But now you mad because primetime talk shit. What did you expect?
nah. I agree with you. I mean, trash talk is a part of the game.
It's part of life, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's what you do. I mean, that's your competitive side. And it's probably, especially if you're of that caliber and coming from the league, he's been like that since day one. I mean, we're talking about a man who played two sports in the same day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You get mad, and he was prime at his shit. He was decent. He was good. He was fucking prime time. And now you getting mad because he delivered on what he said. He's accelerating in his after professional career. He's coaching. He's leading another, the future of, what I'm saying, of young men and, are aspiring to get into where he was in the league and beyond that
yeah,
afterwards. And now you mad because he delivered on his shit. Man up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, I don't know. I felt like that was some real sucker shit that he did just to be mad because he lost the game. Kevin, that's what it was. It wasn't mad because he talked trash. Because dude was like, he did A, B, and C, man. He was talking shit. Whoop, 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 whoop. I mean, this is some real shit. Like, no, man, we ain't about to hug and dap it up after the game. Motherfucker, you mad because you lost. You
yeah.
mad
You gotta
because he talked
you
shit and he
gotta get out
delivered.
your feelings.
And you in your feelings now. Man the fuck up.
Man,
You know what
I
I'm saying? So
agree, man.
hats off to prime time. I'm glad he won. Just and honestly, I think if I was another dude, if I was a student or an athlete on the other dude's team, I'd probably look at you sideways like you gonna tell me to keep my chin up and you let this man talk you out your game.
Yeah, didn't look good.
What about the fucking next week? We got fucking, you know what I'm saying? We got, 10 more games. And now you mad? Nah. Get the fuck out of here. So hats off to prime time. I'm glad he beat him. I'm glad he delivered on his word. Whether you feel different or not, I can't help that. But I mean, it's a
Exactly,
friendly game of football, man. It's a contact sport. You leave it out on the field.
man. Exactly,
So
exactly, man. Hats off to Coach Prime, man. I
that's
think another thing that we didn't get to last week, which I'm still watching, is the BET Awards.
good.
That rolled around. I'm not gonna lie. Past couple years, I've been watching the BET Awards either on DVR or watching the performances on YouTube because the BET Awards, you gotta take at least 3 hours of your life to sit there and watch it because it is a show that does drag on a bit.
Yeah.
You know, So I'm about halfway, through. I saw the majority of it. My big thing is, I always like to see the ciphers they have on there. Because they get the spotlight. Either people who you like, oh man, I've been waiting to see this person, or people who you haven't discovered. Like I'm watching it, and I see somebody like, oh, this person's from DC, this person's from Baltimore. I'm like, oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
all right, but yeah. So my weekend is going to include wrapping up the last 45 minutes, give or take, of the BET Awards. Trying to catch up. 'Cause I know they had Fat Joe hosting.
Ah,
So I mean, so that was cool to see him and that light as a host, because we know Fat Joe is a performer, but he has his show, and Fat Joe is very animated, and he's arguably one of the best storytellers out there, because his stories are always between him and Irv Gotti. Whenever you sit them down in front of a microphone, you're definitely going to get some sort of comedic conversation or a story that you're like, wow, I didn't know that, so Fat Joe did his thing, man.
and I get it. But it makes me think about. I know one thing that popped up about the BET Awards. I know that's always in the line. I keep forgetting the dude's name. Pastor, who was about to got robbed. He mushed
Oh
him.
yeah, 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 the bishop, yeah.
Bishop. I'll be honest, man. What I'm saying? Somebody made a good point. Even, I'm just trying to figure out what else, and maybe he is doing stuff. Maybe I should do some more research, but I'm still going to say my piece. I'm still trying to figure out, based upon who looked at when he mushed that lady, right, to get out. He had like 4 people in the church. And I honestly, like, I think for me, like, I'm not a big mega church kind of person. What I'm saying? I like the nice congregation where you feel like you really know your neighbor, right? When you say look at your
Yeah,
neighbor, look to your left, look at your type neighbor thing, right? So I'm not a big fan of mega churches, but this man definitely doesn't have a mega church one. But he's always in like the limelight, and I feel like he's actually taking away from the message. So he was at the BET Awards, and I don't know, man. I think he's more. This is my opinion. And if you don't feel the
yeah,
same way, I can't help that. I probably care less. But it's like he's more in tune on becoming popular or like a celebrity. And I
yeah.
think, and I just think he's losing the message and all that shit. And I think that's just people looking at it like giving him the time of day. Like I'm trying to figure out what message is he even trying to deliver. You know?
That's valid.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I saw a little clip of him talking about, his Gucci draped down and all this other shit. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like you just, what they say. It's one of like the deadly 7 sins, right? It's one of the of just being, of I don't call it. What is the 7 deadly sins? Which one is that one? I think it's not even like flashy, but it's he's just boastful of not even like pushing a real message across.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, what are you really trying to get this platform for? Is it to,
Yeah,
to elevate yourself, or are you getting the message out there? No, I totally agree with you. I've been, saying that and thinking that from the get go. I know, the guy has a past, and a lot of times, you can't let your past, define you, because
yeah,
people can change. But at the same time, your past is a part of who you are, so you cannot just, you know, you can't just walk away, from a person's past. The past is a part of who they are now, and I don't know. I'm just sitting here just watching, observing, this guy move, to see how this story continues to unfold. Because I mean, like with Kanye, it's like every other week, it's something else, and it doesn't help his case or help the story out.
facts, man. I think people are getting lost into his message. I don't think people think follow him because of his message. I think people, look at him just as like, all right, man, what foolery is he gonna have this time? You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't even make sense. So I'm not giving time of day, but I do find it just fucking wild.
Nah, man. Hey, but yeah, before we get out of here, man, anything else on your chest, or what's going on for the weekend?
Nah, man, I was watching the news, and they were talking about, I don't know. I feel like right now, like we're just in a society right now to where, I've been watching stuff and folks are just extra sensitive, right? I feel like the story about people, and we talked about it a little bit last week, how people are picking and choosing as to, of what they want to agree with or for the convenience of, an argument for them, right? And so
Okay.
there's a story about, I guess I forgot, there was something about something political, right? And how some people are arguing whether or not, people want certain governance over, and I forget exactly what it was, but people wanted governance over it, and they're basically saying, like, the government needs to take over this, they need to handle this. But at the same time, I'm sitting there like, why the fuck do you need to have someone like really monitor and maintain all this, right? And I'll get the full story behind it, so we'll talk about it next time. But it was just on my mind. It just made me just think about society now. And honestly, man, I think society's going left, man. Society's just going to a whole new route. So I'm just hoping and praying that folks get their shit right before, the holidays come up, and just just pick and choose.
Yeah.
But it's a bigger story, and I want to make sure I get all the facts before I really speak on it. But yeah, man, I think people are just not even. They want to pick and choose when they want someone to control their life
Yeah.
when it's convenient. So that's kind of what's on my mind. So I'll get more to the story, but that's where I'm at with it right now. Other than that, life is good. About to relax, about to just chill, I will sit there and say, the Baked Bunch crew, they are doing a Friendsgiving, a baked brunch style. So it is at a secret location. It will be in the DMV. So if you are around, look out for those invites or look out for those tickets. So they told me definitely, they will keep folks in tune, but it will be a Friendsgiving baked brunch style. So that's just pretty exciting.
That's what's up, man. I think we'll look to do something similar. Probably do a friendsgiving, potluck, something along those lines. Get folks together.
Yeah.
So definitely, interested to hear more about that event coming up and all the excitement and see some pictures and videos of what comes out of it. So definitely looking forward to that one.
That's a bet.
Definitely. I think this weekend, I think man, it's had some folks in town. Last week got some folks in town. This week, but I think the only thing really going on this weekend is either a birthday brunch. For one of my guys out here. I don't know if it's gonna be a brunch or if it's gonna be a yacht party. Still trying to get all the details for that, but definitely weather is shaping up. So it's in the 90s. So either way, really can't go too wrong. Patios, rooftops open back up. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. If it is a brunch, checking out these different spots. I told you, man, brunch out here is definitely an experience. Got two down so far. Got Bubblicious, which was cool. Had amazing food. They had the old school brunch. With the music and the environment was crazy and insane. So I'll let you all know, about this next brunch, what it had to offer, and we'll see, man. Go from there.
There we go.
Go from there. But hey, once again, shout out to Shisha to you. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can keep up with us on Twitter at In the Bowl Pod. We are two highly opinionated individuals. We love to hear the opinions of others, and we always touch on uh, topics and subjects which you can definitely have, multiple opinions, so if you got something to say about something we addressed or something we missed, definitely let us know in the comments. And, if we said something incorrectly, we're two grown men, we'll come back next week and, we'll address it. But last but not least, don't forget to, keep those hookahs clean, after every use. Rinse them out, wash them out, make sure it's prepped, so for the next smoke. So when you're ready to, fire up that bowl, everything is good to go, and you save your setup time, so we appreciate y'all, and until next week.
And as always, click, like, and subscribe.
Hustle 5 Ways Radio.